What if I told you that the most powerful way to attract others isn't by trying harder? It's actually by doing less. This is precisely the type of magnetism we are going to be talking about and curating in this video. It's not loud, it's not arrogant, it doesn't showcase achievements, but rather it exists. It attracts opportunities. It creates abundance without trying. Quiet confidence is often misunderstood by people for a few reasons. Number one, people assume that they have to be a quiet person in order to have quiet confidence. Baby, I'm loud, okay? If you're new here, this is where I share ways I'm getting my shit together so that you can get your shit together. My personality is not a timid or shy one. I wouldn't personally describe myself as a social butterfly, but I would never describe myself as a quiet person. I love my shy girlies and guys out there, but that's just never been me. But quiet confidence isn't about literally being quiet. It's about knowing your worth. There's a reason why the person who's always over-explaining themselves and in their proving energy never gets what they want. It's because they don't believe in themselves. If you don't believe in yourself, if your self-concept is a little bit shaky, even if people like you, you will find a way to push them away. You will self-sabotage friendships, opportunities, relationships, all because you don't think you are worthy of them. There's a big emphasis right now on the look of confidence, but not the actual self-work behind confidence. True confidence is not what you look like on the outside, but more so your own self-worth and how it reflects out to other people. Like, that is what confidence is. This video goes over the being, okay? This video is not going to talk about, oh my god, well, just walk this way, talk this way, act this way, even if it's not authentic to you. Every single person on this earth has their own authentic voice. Mine is not quiet, but I'm talking about quiet confidence because I'm not someone who gets up in front of a crowd and just starts talking about my YouTube channel and my accomplishments. I don't have to prove myself, and that's why people come up to me and offer me opportunities that I could have never even imagined. And I want those same exact opportunities for you too. I want you to feel so confident in yourself that you don't have to over-explain yourself. And when you think about why quiet confidence is so alluring, we have to understand that these people are secure in themselves. Psychologists call this energy self-possession. When you are rooted in who you are, you're not easily swayed by outside noise. You're not really compelled to hype yourself up or try to prove yourself to other people or try to say a self-degrading joke in order to make things less awkward. We've all been there, but I need you to stop it. One way you can tell you have quiet confidence is you can be in silence and not feel awkward. Now listen, this depends on the situation. There's definitely situations that are really awkward, but I'm talking about when you are just standing alone in a line, or you're in a group of people and you're not talking. You don't feel this pull where it's like you have to say something. You don't feel that awkwardness. You're less in your head and you're more in who you are. There is a reality where you don't have to think about how you're being perceived when you talk to people. I know that sounds shocking, and I was genuinely shocked when I heard that some people don't think about themselves and how they're being perceived and does my hair look okay and all this stuff, okay? Not that you shouldn't care about your appearance, but just the fact that sometimes we are all in our heads about how we're being perceived that we forget to be who we are. There is a reality where you can leave a conversation and not feel like, did I say the right thing, or am I too awkward, or things like that. There is a world where you can do that, and it starts with quiet confidence. Now, in psychology, there's a theory called self-verification theory, and it explores the idea that people don't want to just be seen positively, they want to be seen accurately. People like when others see them in line with how they see themselves. This is exactly why if you don't like yourself, you will attract people in your life who also don't like you. You will feel the need to get their validation. And it's why with the quiet confident person, they always attract people who like them. The wild part is, if you have low self-esteem and someone treats you better than you regard yourself, you will actually feel out of place. Instead of leaning into that love or respect that this person has for you, you'll start to see them in a different light, and you'll actually pull back. And you won't even recognize that you're doing this, but their story and the way they see you doesn't match the story that you're telling yourself inside. You might tell your friend, oh my god, that person is so annoying, I don't know why they kept complimenting me, like, are they trying to prove a point or something? You will assume that it's insincere. And I'm not talking about your genuine intuition when you can tell that someone's compliment was a little bit, whatever. I'm talking about you genuinely think that their intentions are bad when they're not. Truly confident people reject those lies. If you believe that you're grounded, capable, and worthy of respect, that reality will be reflected back to you. If your self-view is negative, then obviously positive attention is going to feel threatening. Quiet, confident people behave in 4 distinct ways. Number 1, they listen more than they talk. And this is extremely important for you to understand. If you want people to respect you, you cannot go into things assuming that they are there to listen to you. When you make people feel listened to, they automatically see you as more of an authority. The second behavior that the quiet, confident person does is they often maintain eye contact, and it's appropriate eye contact. If you're looking everywhere except the person that you're talking to, it's going to feel a little bit weird. You're not forcing eye contact, but you're making sure the person feels seen. Number 3, they don't rush to fill silence, okay? You're not rushing to make sure that you are the loudest in the room. You are comfortable in the silence. And last but not least, they disagree without trying to win. They seek solutions with people instead of trying to argue with them about why their position is right. This subtle behavior creates a gravitational pull effect where people like to be around them. Now ask yourself, which one of these things is a lot harder for you to do? Is it difficult for you to listen to people sometimes, or are you maybe a little bit more of an argumentative person? These are things to look out for within yourself because it's easy to get caught up in our own ego. And that doesn't mean you can't be your distinct person. It just means if you want people to gravitate towards you, you also have to understand who you are. If you are naturally an argumentative person who's really into politics and you're always bringing up politics and making other people mad, well, you're not really going to be that magnetic to other people. That's not to be mean. That's not to say you shouldn't surround yourself with people who share your values. That's just to say not everyone always wants to argue. And by practicing these behaviors, you also flip the script so that you're not trying to make other people approve of you. You are rather seeing what other people are like and choosing if you want to let them in at your level of comfort. And this is huge. When you are not so caught up with trying to keep people in your life, you attract everything. When it comes to these tips and advice, I believe it's best to use nuance because obviously quiet confidence can easily turn into being timid and a pushover if you allow it. There is a big part of quiet confidence that is a knowledge of yourself, but this self-knowledge comes from inner stability, which is built in 3 distinct ways. Number 1 is to know your self-worth, and the way you build self-worth is through trust. You cannot feel like you are worthy if you do not trust yourself. So this is when you say you're going to do something, do it. I've made an entire video on self-worth and specifically self-trust, so I'll link that in the description, but essentially it's to know yourself fully. Stop seeking external validation in order to feel seen and be validated for who you are. That doesn't mean you're arrogant, that doesn't mean you're cocky, that just means you know who you are. The good, the bad, the ugly, the stuff you know you need to work on, like we're all not perfect, okay? I'd rather you know yourself and know what you need to work on than have you be in a state of cognitive dissonance where you feel like you're perfect and you turn into a complete narcissist. Which brings me into number 2, emotional intelligence. Utilize your emotional intelligence, okay? It's managing your reactions instead of allowing how someone else treats you to control you, okay? It's separating yourself. Anyone with high self-worth can attest to this. If you are a person who puts up with anything and everything, you will compromise yourself in order to feel secure and rely on other people for that validation and then get let down over and over and over again. It's letting go of outcome. Like, these are really difficult things. A lot of people will just use a blanket statement of emotional intelligence, but what does that even mean? And if you guys want a full video on how to build emotional intelligence, I feel like that would be a really powerful video because a lot of us think that we are very emotionally intelligent, but then we look at how we interact with people during conflicts and we go, yeah, maybe I didn't need to do all of that. But hey, we live and we learn. I don't judge you here, okay? And number 3, knowing your purpose and knowing your why. And this changes over time. Not that your entire purpose changes, but I feel like oftentimes when we talk about like having a why that anchors you, sometimes it's based on day by day. Like if you're watching this video and you're in your 20s and you're still figuring yourself out, you might not know what your whole life's purpose is. but you know what your purpose is for going to that networking event. You know what your purpose is for reaching out to that friend. You know what your purpose is for that job interview. You get what I'm saying? When you start to get a lot more clear on your why am I going to have this conversation? Why am I going to this event? Why am I doing this job interview? You are grounded in what drives you, and you're less likely to allow outside circumstances to affect your mood. If one thing happens and it throws off your entire day, we've all been there, but it's about acknowledging those things. You can't maneuver in quiet confidence if you feel insecure because you're never on time. It doesn't start with the huge goals that you have. It literally starts with the day-by-day habits that make you feel like you trust yourself. Now let's get into some practical steps and we'll finish everything off. But I really wanted to talk about mindfulness, and I'm not talking about like meditation or anything like that. Not saying that those things don't help, but I'm talking about mindfulness in your day-to-day life. The way you practice quiet confidence in your day-to-day life is by acknowledging what mental state you're in. In that scenario that I just described to you earlier, where you're super chaotic because one thing threw off your whole day, you're not grounded in yourself, and you're often not mindful of the fact that you are even feeling this way. You have somewhere to go, you lose your keys before you leave, you're running 10 minutes late, you have your music on full blast, your hair is a mess, you don't really know what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? Those small things are when you're not mindful of how you are acting. This chaotic energy needs to be harnessed into a mindful practice. That way you can get back to yourself. And you guys know me, I'm the first to say that I have a very chaotic energy, not in like a bad way, but just like that's who I am. And that's exactly why, like when I was making this video, I was like, do I have quiet confidence? And then I was looking into some of the traits and I was like, well, I do in a lot of scenarios, but only when I'm mindful. Only when I go into something with a purpose. Only when I literally say to myself, I'm gonna be confident no matter who is in that room. In conversations, being mindful of how you are acting, putting down your phone, listening carefully. If you want to be remembered, you have to make someone feel heard and listened to. The next strategy that I really wanted to talk about is strategic silence. For example, you might be talking to your friend and she brings up that one guy and then you just give her this look. And she knows what that look means. This is super common in casual conversation, but the second that you are at a job interview or talking to your boss, you tend to overtalk. Stop oversharing, okay? You don't need to say every single little thing of your day just because you're feeling awkward and flustered. A question that you can use to kind of temperature check what you are about to say is asking, is what I'm gonna say helpful or harmful? Because the way in which you talk about others is a very, very key sign of like what your own confidence level is. If you are always talking bad about another person, how do you think that reflects on you? Do you seem like a confident person? And I'm not talking about little details, I'm talking about like you're trash talking your friend that you literally just hung out with the other day. How do you think that reflects on you? Are you that secure of a person? Which brings me into number 3, healthy boundaries. Confident people know how to say no unapologetically. I've made a boundaries video. A lot of the topics in this video I've already made videos about. So if you're not subscribed to me, like this is the perfect time for you to go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and make sure to do all of the things that help share my video out. Don't apologize for saying no. Don't apologize for being like, hey, this isn't something that I can realistically do. And also, don't necessarily say sorry if it's someone just asking. Oftentimes we say sorry for literally no reason. I know it might feel awkward to just say no at first because you've gotten in the habit of saying sorry over and over and over again. And obviously use nuance with these things. I'm not saying never say sorry. I'm just saying don't say sorry for no reason. Be intentional with your words. Quiet confidence is not literally being quiet, it's just knowing who you are and not having to over explain. With that being said, you guys, I really hope this video gave you guys some insights on how to cultivate quiet confidence, what it is, what it means to me, and how you can implement it in your own life. If you got a lot out of this video, please be sure to check out my TikTok and my Instagram, and I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.